Okay, so what I have here are two little swatches of 10 stitches each that I am going to use to demonstrate how I do my Kitchener graft. Now, the first thing I do, looks a little scary, but I promise that it's not. I just pull those bad boys right off my needles. So now I have two little swatches with 10 stitches totally free. I take my tapestry needle and my yarn, and I take the first swatch, and I hold it right side out with the stitches lined up at the top. Now I take my tapestry needle and I go from the back side of my fabric to the front side of my fabric through the first stitch. Then I take my other swatch and I hold it close by, and I go from the front side of my fabric to the back side of my fabric through the first stitch, then back to front through the second stitch. Then I go right back to that first stitch on the bottom swatch, and I go from front to back through that, and then to the second stitch, back to front. So I've just made my first stitch in my graft. I'm going to pull it kind of tight, but I'm not going to totally tighten it up just yet. So next I go back to the second stitch on the top swatch, and I go front to back, then just back to front through the next stitch. So that's what you do, going back and forth, front to back to front to back to front, all the way through, remembering to go through the last stitch front to back on the swatch that you're changing to before you pick up a new stitch on that swatch. So here we go. Front to back to front. Front to back to front. If you drop a stitch, no big deal. Just pick it back up using your tapestry needle. Just scoop it on through. So as we're just going front to back to front. That one came back to front, so our next one is front to back on the next fabric. Then back to front through the next stitch. Front to back to front. Front to back to front. And so on until you've gone through the whole line, and then you just tighten your stitches down. Now I hear a baby crying, so I gotta run. But that's how I do my Kitchener graft.